recipient, by the one who purchases your course, by the one who attends your live workshop, by the person who hits play on your podcast episode. I would argue that in most cases, if you have withheld the marketing of your course, or you're taking the next step in the planning of your live workshop or your live conference, or hitting the record button or publish button on your most recent podcast episode, in most cases, I would argue that the standard that you have set for yourself about what it would take for you to add value to someone else's life is unrealistically high. And it's not about excellence. Sometimes it's about whether or not you feel like somebody's going to judge you. And let me stop talking about you. Sometimes for me, it's whether or not I'm going to be judged by someone. Gosh, Cliff, that wasn't as well prepared as what happened the last few weeks. Man, I really dug what you put out in episode 588 and 587 and 586, and then all of a sudden I hit play on 589 and you're just going off the top of your head again. You know, sometimes I'm wondering am I impressing people? And sometimes I realize that, wow, to add value to someone's life, is it really the formula of I've spent hours researching and it has this polish and finish and that editing job done on it, and it's this length of an episode? Sometimes I have some weird beliefs that I have adapted and adopted to say this is what it takes for me to create the kind of content that I should be creating. And oftentimes when I get these whacked out thoughts about what it takes to add value to people's lives, it keeps me from creating the content on a consistent basis. And I want to create value on a consistent basis. When I have a course that's been completed, I want to make sure that people know that they can buy it. I'm not going to force anybody to buy anything. And you know, for those of us who are concerned about whether or not our course is as good as somebody else's course, our workshop is as good as somebody else's, our whatever, you know, the reality is that sometimes we're following those people that we admire, and we, first and foremost, I'll give you a perfect example. One person that I know was afraid to market what they had because they saw Amy Porterfield's Digital Course Academy promotion, her webinar series that promoted that, and then, of course, buying the Digital Course Academy, you get in there and you see the level of quality of production. I'm talking about just video production, not even content, just video production alone. And you're just like, man, that is top-notch professional. And then you get somebody who doesn't have the budget that Amy Porterfield has today, and they think, well, gosh, what I have to offer is nowhere near to that. How can I even come close? And if I can't come close to that, and that's available, then I certainly have nothing of value to bring to the table. And the reality is a couple of things. One, now let me tell you, I love Amy Porterfield. She's a great friend of mine. And I actually have Digital Course Academy. I'm going through it with Stephanie. We're taking our own marketing and effort and our course creation to the next level, trying to learn from the amazing things that Amy has done. But a couple things that I know about this whole setup here and my mindset when it comes to comparing myself or anybody else comparing themselves to what Amy is doing. Number one, there's a ton of people out there who have no idea who Amy is. All right? So the reality is that, yes, Amy is very popular. She's very successful. And yes, a lot of people have purchased her course. But you know what? There are even more people who have not. They have never purchased a course from Amy Porterfield, and they will never purchase both her course and your course and then say, let me compare the quality of the production value here between the two. Now, let's just say that somebody does purchase Amy's course and then they purchase your course. the question isn't whether or not what is your production value. The question is what is the value of the content, the information, the transformation that you can bring to someone. And there's this philosophy that I don't need a complicated idea to change my life. All I need is an idea that I can remember and apply consistently. All I need is that one idea. If somebody was to take your course and they learned one technique, one strategy, and that one strategy alone was like light bulb moment for them, and once they implemented that, wow, that changed everything. My response rate to what I was doing before is now going through the roof. I never would have even thought it had I not done that course. And the reality is that the results that they get from your course with the low production value that you may have compared to an Amy Porterfield in this world could be far more valuable to them than what they get out of Amy Porterfield's course. I would propose to you that it is possible that even if this is your first course ever, and somebody was to buy your course as your first course, and then buy Amy's course, which is not her first course, by the way. And I bet you that if you go back and talk to Amy, she would tell you about her thoughts about how her first courses looked as far as production-wise. And things didn't always look the way that Amy's doing them today. So you got to start somewhere. But the reality is, if somebody was to purchase your course and then also purchase Amy's course, you'd be shocked at how people are not necessarily comparing production value and whether or not you had a video crew and the lighting was just right and that you had a professional studio backdrop and all of this other stuff, multi-camera shoot. That's not what people are looking for. They're looking for that one thing that's going to move the needle forward for them. And the chances that Amy Porterfield or anyone else is ever going to teach that one technique, tactic, or strategy the way that you would teach it at the moment they most need it is next to nil. There's nobody out there that will ever share your message your way. Yeah, some people may be teaching some of the same tactics, some of the same techniques, but it may be the way that you teach it that all of a sudden gives them that light bulb moment that says, oh my gosh. It may be your personal story about how you had struggled with this one area. And it may be something that, they've heard this 5 times before, but it wasn't until the story that you told about your own personal experience that all of a sudden resonated deep with them, that unlocked their ability to finally hear what it is that has been said multiple times, but from you, they're hearing it for the first time. They're understanding, maybe not hearing it for the first, they're actually understanding it for the first time. And in a way, yeah, they are hearing it. Their ears were blocked, and it was something that you said that took away the blockage, and now all of a sudden it makes sense. The world needs you. I want to share something with you that I saw on Instagram today. It's from my friend April Shannon. April owns a Snap fitness chain here. She has a fitness club in Hebron, Kentucky. I follow her on Instagram, and she posted something today, just a photo of herself, and she's been working on herself incredibly hard over the past several years, and she motivates me and inspires me in the area of health and fitness, and so I love following her posts. Anyway, today she posted this, and it says this: I don't eat right because I have to be the skinniest. I don't exercise because I have to be the fastest or the fittest. I don't build a business because I have to be the wealthiest. I do it because I want to be the best me that I can, because God wants it. My family deserves it, and the world is starving for it. I try to be the best version of myself I can be because feeling great, energetic, full of love, capable, and determined creates a ripple effect to all of those around me. I may not be able to change the whole world, but if I keep stepping out of my comfort zone and do a little more each day, I might just inspire someone to do the same. I love that. I love that. I may not change the whole world by this course. I may not sell hundreds of these things, but you know what? There might be 5 people. There might be 3 people, and it might just be what they need to move the needle further in their life.